no kick.
This is awesome.
It is very smooth. There's no
It's
kick.
like a cap gun. I don't think we need these. Hey everybody, Gadi Adelman here with another out-of-the-box video, or in this case, a out-of-the-envelope video. For those that saw my last video on the out-of-the-box on my Sig Sauer P365 NRA Special Edition, you may remember that the only thing that I could find that I disliked about this weapon was the grips. And it's interesting because if you go online and you look at some of the reviews, you'll find a lot of people have the same complaint. Because of the way this is manufactured, it not only rubs up against the skin and is irritating if you're using this weapon as an everyday carry, but it can also mess up your clothing. So interestingly enough, Talon Grips, full disclosure, Talon Grips was kind enough to send me a set of grips to go over my SIG at no charge for me to review this. Now I do want to say at the outset here, regardless of the fact that they did this at no charge, I'm going to be 100% totally honest, and if I don't like them, I'll say so. But I am going to go from start to finish and see what it is that we have to do, how difficult it is to put this on the weapon, and we'll kind of go from there. So first, let's clear the weapon, show everyone that we're not dealing with a loaded firearm, because that is always the first thing you should do anytime you're working with any weapon. Always make sure it's clear. So let's open this up and see what we got in here, because I'm not really too sure what comes with this, to be honest with you. So let's see. Well, this is kind of neat. All right, so like everything, you get a sticker. All right, the instructions seem pretty cut and dry, no pun intended. Comes with an alcohol wipe, unload, field strip the firearm, use the rubbing alcohol to clean the pistol grip area. I'll line up the backing of the Talon grip. Now I'll tell you right out of the box, or out of the envelope as it were, I like this. I like this because it's rubber, but it's so thin. This is not a sleeve. You know, one of the reasons that I chose this particular weapon was because I wanted to use it as a everyday carry, and the thing that was most appealing to me was how thin it was and how easy it was on my physique to hide this grip, because that was the problem I had with most weapons, was being able underneath tight clothing or a t-shirt to hide the fact, you know, that imprint that you have of a weapon on your hip underneath your clothes. And with this I could get away with it and you can't see it. This, interestingly enough, is so thin that it does not, you know, it's not a sleeve. And I did see online where they sell sleeves for this, and all that does is thicken up the whole grip of the weapon. It kind of defeats the purpose in my particular case. So this is really nice. I like the way this feels. A lot different. Let me see if you can see that on the camera. Now they did send me what they refer to as their moss color. And it is not an exact match. I had my choice of black or moss. They said this would match it best. So I am going to end up with several different colors on this weapon when I'm done. And I'll tell you what, if that's the biggest complaint that I have when I'm finished, is that I have another color, that's not bad. As a matter of fact, it doesn't look bad at all. Now, of course, that's me just holding it on there. They do suggest in the instructions here that before you remove the back and actually apply it to the weapon, to do a test fit to ensure that it's the right grip and understand how it fits the firearm. Now I've already just gone and done that, and you can pretty much see how you line this up to the edges, and this will wrap around. And what I really like is it covers areas that on the weapon are currently not in any way set up like a grip. This is smooth. And when you apply this, you actually have a rough area there, or a grip area. Also along the back, it comes up higher. So it's up into that beaver tail area. I think I'm going to like this. I'm really liking the way this looks. And on the other side, because it sits high, it's a nice place for when you do not have your finger in the trigger and you're resting your finger or your hand along here, you've got that grip area that did not come initially with the Sig. So when this is applied, you've got that area to grip. Yeah, I have a feeling, just the feeling of this, it's so much smoother, but it still gives you that good grip feeling. So let's go ahead and put this on, and of course I'll speed up the film so you guys don't have to sit here through the whole thing. But the first thing that they want you to do is remove the top of the weapon. So we're going to do a quick field strip here and break this down so that we have just the grip or lower portion of the weapon. And we are going to remove this alcohol pad. And use it on the pistol grip area, everywhere that grip is going to be. Now when you get to the end, you want to tuck in this piece, this final edge, underneath where you started. And what's going to hold all this on is heat. And you just use a hairdryer or a heat gun, according to these instructions. Once you have it down all the way and you're happy with the way it feels, the way it looks, and most importantly the fit, so that you are not interfering with any of the weapon's functions. In this case, the magazine release. Alright, so I've got that on there now. It looks proper. I'm going to work this in real good like it says. I do want to say, you know, if you are unhappy with this, when you're done, you can always take it back off again. And that's one of the cool things about this. This is where we're at right now before we heat it up. It's a good snug fit. I like the way it feels. It has not really anything to speak of added any kind of size to the grip that came with the weapon. And again, the color match is not that bad. So we're going to go ahead and set that down, and we will be back with a hairdryer. Okay, so we've got our hairdryer, and I do want to let everybody know, although Talon Grips was kind enough to send me this grip at no charge, I did have to go out and buy a hairdryer. I don't have a hairdryer in my house. Why would I? For those of you that have watched any of my videos, you know that where I'm not bald, I shave it. So I don't have a hairdryer. But anyway, I've got this hairdryer. We're going to go ahead and give this a shot and see what it does here. As I blow away everything on the table. Okay, so we got that done. Let's put this weapon back together and see what the final product looks like. Now, once again, there we go. There's your finished product. Not bad. Color match isn't exact, as I said. And, you know, in all honesty, as I said, I was going to be 100% honest. The only thing that concerns me are the little corners and whether or not over time it will start to peel off. However, even if that were to happen, and I don't know that it would, I'm just making an assumption because it sticks up there And when you take it in and out of a holster and so on, or you just use it on your, range like I will, because you want to familiarize yourself, especially with a weapon that you're carrying every day, you should practice, target practice on a regular basis. I don't know that that's going to happen, but at $19.99 for a set of these rubberized grips, if it takes a year, or if it takes 6 months, or maybe it won't happen at all, but for $20, I mean, I like that. I like that a lot. It is not rough like the weapon initially was when I purchased it, so I know I'm not going to have the issues that I had with this snagging on my clothing or rubbing on my skin all day and becoming an irritant. So let's just see, now that we've got all these different colors, how the overall weapon looks with the magazine in there. So, as I pointed out in my first video, it was a two-tone weapon anyway, and I opted for the black 12-round extended rather than the Coyote. But again, this doesn't look bad. And I'm not going for looks. I'm going for how that feels. Wow, that is nice. So, thank you, Talon Grips. It is well worth $20. If you have a Sig Sauer P365 or the P365 XL or the NRA edition, such as myself, and you've had an issue with the grips, the factory grips that come with this weapon, I would highly suggest, that is really a nice feeling. I can't wait to take this out to the range and see if it makes any difference at all. Now again, the only other thing that I really don't like is the way it lines up. I don't know if you can see that here. On this side, it's almost perfect. It comes around the edge and it stays even all the way around on the other side of that ambidextrous grip, because this is changeable. And of course, I've got it set up for a right-handed person. It's not interfering with that mechanism at all, but it is very, very close. I don't know if you can see that in this light, and I'll try and get that in there. It is very close to that edge when I line it up on the bottom, lining it up properly. It does come awfully close to the edge of that, but again, it's not interfering with it. There it is. So my magazine release is working fine. I really like the way this feels. So once again, thank you to Talon Grips. This definitely is something that I would recommend if you have this particular model weapon. And I do want to give them a shout out. If you go on their website, you will find that Talon Grips makes these types of grips for a bunch of different guns. So talongrips.com, talongungrips.com. It's right in front of me here. talongungrips.com. Again, thank you to Talon. So that you all know, I got your 6, and we'll see you at the range.